My name's Corey, and I am the Executive Director of Nightlight's Colorado office. Whenever kids are placed in foster care, the goal initially is always going to be reunification. We know from lots of experience and research that kids always do better in their organic family. And so whenever a case starts, the goal is always going to be to get the kids to return home, provided that it's safe and appropriate for them to do so.
My name's Matt Derrick, and this is my wife Ashley, and we're foster parents. I knew nothing about fostering kids. I'd heard of adoption, obviously, and to be perfectly honest, the only stories I'd heard were horror stories of just, foster kids and tearing families apart, and just the bad press that fostering gets. So that's all I'd heard. So I definitely was coming from a fear, because my hardest part about this was I love children. I fall in love with children really quickly. I love the innocence and the joy, and I'm a kid at heart, and I love being with children. And I know that falling in love with a child and then having that child leave was going to be very hard for me. I had no qualms about it. I knew that was going to be my biggest challenge. And so Nightlight explained to me that is going to be hard. That's the hardest part for most families. That's the part that makes families walk away from this, is because of that pain. She says, but you get to be a part of this child's greater story. And that struck a chord with me. I was like, okay. And she's like, there may be a situation where you get to help not only the foster child, but the foster family. What if you help this family get built back together? Because a lot of these parents are struggling with addiction and alcoholism. What if you get to help that family get back together? Imagine how great that would be. And to me, that was just the icing on the cake. And that was the moment that I realized I could actually do this.
I think for me as a foster mom, and just what I get to see here at Nightlight as well, one of the struggles is that families aren't really sure why we work so hard to get kids to reunify with their parents. But I can recall just days as a child protection caseworker and going out and knocking on someone's door with allegations of child abuse or neglect. And the reality is I'm knocking on their door on the worst day of their life. Throughout the life of a case, you can see parents transform. As a former therapist, of course, I believe in second chances. And as a Christian, I believe in second chances.
We didn't know what to expect, but we did start to have a heart for reunification throughout this process, which I don't think is the norm from the people that we've met. As soon as he came, as soon as I started the visits, as soon as I started to, get to know him and get to know his family, I just really started to see a family that really didn't look that much different than mine. They would run and tackle each other to see each other, and they would giggle with each other in just a way that he didn't giggle with us, and they would argue even, but there was just a comfort level there, and I just watched them together, and this was a family that really, they loved each other.
Much as you want to say about some of these bio families and the mistakes they've made, it's still family, and if it's a healthy, loving environment, that's where they need to be, and that's what we were hoping to build. I would say, from someone who wasn't on board, it's one of the more beautiful things I've ever been a part of. Just to take a child who's so vulnerable and so innocent and does not deserve what just happened to him. And to be able to just give him just the love. It's just, yeah, it may hurt. It's going to be hard, but the reward and the feeling of doing something good for someone who just wants love and attention and just comfort and care it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
I think sometimes we assume that that people can't change, and that it stops there because their family's always done that, and that's not always the case. It may happen some that way, but it's worth fighting for the stories that can turn it around.